So let's go over to a blank Word document. Okay. And we're going to set up our style. So here's the default styles here. Okay. And I'm going to go over here and click on the drop down. It says more. And I'm going to create a style. So I'm going to call it APA style. And I'm going to click on modify. And one of the first things I want to do when I'm modifying is I want to set my font to Times New Roman. And then I want to set this font size to 12. Okay. Now you'll notice there are other things here. Okay. You want to make sure it's aligned to the left. Okay. There's single space, there's space and a half, and then there's double spaced. So you want to make sure you set it to double spaced. And you can look down here at the bottom because it'll tell you. Here it says the font Times New Roman, 12 point, line spacing, double style, and shows it in gallery based on normal. Then we also want to go down here to the bottom. And we want to tell it new documents based on this template. Because what that means is the next time that I start to create a document, it'll automatically bring this up. Now this what we've got right here is the very basics of the APA style. Double spaced, 12 point font. We haven't messed anything with the margins, and typically Word has 1-inch margins to begin with. So we're kind of safe there. And it's usually 1 inch top and bottom. So as long as you haven't messed with your default margins, you're usually good to go. So we're going to hit OK, and that's at least going to get us started out in the right spot. Plus, you'll notice up here in our styles, it shows APA style, which is the one we're starting with. And as you go along and there's more things you want to add, you can always go back in and edit that style. You can right click on it and tell it modify, and then you can make changes in it. So you can always update it later as you learn more and as you get a better idea of things. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our running head. So we're going to double click here up near the top. And when we do that, it opens up header and footer tools. First thing we want to do is check different first page, because we want that first page to be different because it has to say running head at the top. The rest of the pages in the document will just have the title, abbreviated title. So we got our different first page set. We're going over here to the far left. We want to select header, and we want to pick the blank 3 columns. And the reason that is we want to have our running head and our abbreviated title here in the left. We're going to delete the middle, and then the right we want our page number. Some people will come in and they will not choose this. They will choose that first style. They'll put in running head, and then they'll tab over and try to put in their page number. And it will never come out right. It will always be a constant pain. Especially later on, if you have to turn one page landscape for a table or something, it will really mess things up. So we've got 3 columns. The first one is the one we're going to use first, and we're going to type in there running head. And only the R in running is capitalized. Head is not capitalized. And we're going to put in a colon and a space. Next up, we got our abbreviated title. It's got to be less than 50 characters. So we're going to turn on our caps lock, and we're going to type in my short title. Then I want to get rid of this middle column. So I'm just going to click in it with the mouse and then hit delete on the keyboard. That gets rid of that. In this far right one, I'm going to click in here. Then I'm going to go up and I'm going to insert page number. Big mistake some people make is they'll try to type a number in here first. You don't want to do that, because all that'll do is put that number on all of your pages. So you'll have 50 page ones. We don't want that. So we've clicked in there. We go to page number, and we go to current position, and we tell it plain number. We don't need these other things, fancy stuff. We just want current position, which puts it right there on the right. And then we click on plain number. And that gives us our page number. So we're done with our running head for now. So we're going to put in our title. So I'm going to double click outside of the header area, or you can click over here and click close header and footer, either way. Then we're going to center between the left and right margins. We're going to come down 5 spaces because we want to be in the upper half of the page. So we're going to put in our full title. I'm going to make sure my caps lock is off. Full title of paper. Now, remember with your full title, less than 12 words, no abbreviations, no words without purpose. In other words, don't just throw a random word in there that you don't need. Make sure that every word's there and every word counts. It will be in regular caps, and it will be double spaced, just like the rest of the document. And then it needs to be centered. Okay, so there's our full title of our paper. Then we're going to put the author's name. You can put a middle initial. Do not put any kind of title or degree or anything like that after the name. Underneath that, we're going to put our institution affiliation. University of West Georgia. Now we'll scroll down a little bit. We'll hit enter once. And now we want to make it automatically go to that next page so we can start typing in the manuscript title and then our first paragraph. So to get to a new page, we're going to insert a page break. So I'm going to hit page break. And that brings us down to the top of the next page. Now remember, this manuscript title needs to be centered. So we're already centered because we were there. We were centered when we were at our title page. So I'm going to type in my manuscript title. Okay. I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to tell it to align to the left. Now we're aligned to the left, but we want to indent that first line of the first line of every new paragraph in the paper needs to be indented. I'm going to tab over once and type in pretty much what was in the demo earlier because it does have some good information. And don't forget, we're using the 6th edition. Okay. Now, something that just occurred to me as I was typing this and looking back up at the screen, and that is, where did my header go? We created a header on the first page, but remember, we had to check that box that said different page, different first page. So what we need to do is double click in the header here and go to insert the header. And again, we're going to pick the 3 columns. This time, we're going to type in just the short title, which up here we had titled it My Short Title. So we're going to click there. What do we do with that second column? That's right, we delete. Then the last column, what are we going to do? That's our page number. So we go to page number, we tell it current position, and we tell it plain number. And notice it gives us a number 2. Up here at the top, we had page 1. It automatically turns us into page 2. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to come down here and we're going to make it go to the references page. Okay. So let's say we finished typing our page and we want to make it go to the next page. So again, what we want to do, if we want to go to the next page, we want to come down once or twice, and then we go to insert and we go to page break. That takes us down to this last page where we're going to put our references. And notice, it also shows us our short title and our page number, and page number is number 3. So we know our page numbers are working properly. So under references, so we're going to center the word references. And we got to watch out for that caps lock because that will get us, it will sneak up on us. So we got references in there, and we're going to come down, and we're going to go back to aligning up to the left. And we want to have that hanging indent for our references, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the hanging indent, and we're going to pull it over here to line the 5th space over. Now, something's funny because you look at it and you go, but I just told it to hanging indent. Remember, hanging indent is the next line down. So that first line is going to be lined up to the left. Any line after that in that paragraph within that reference is going to be indented over 5 spaces. If you try to do it with a tab or with just hitting the space bar, it's going to make life miserable for you later on. So make sure you just go ahead and grab that top one. Don't grab the bottom one. Grab the top one and with your mouse and pull it over to that 5th spot. Another way that you can adjust the hanging indent is to right-click your mouse in front of the author's name and go down and select Paragraph. Then under Indentation, under Special, select Hanging, and then make sure this is set to 0.5. You can adjust it by moving these arrows up and down, but make sure it's set to 0.5. And down here in the preview window, it'll show you that the top line is not indented, but the second line of the paragraph is indented. There are probably over 50 different types of references in the APA 6th edition manual, everything ranging from books, printed materials, to electronic reference. Make sure you find the correct format for your reference. So in this video we covered our running head on the first page, our title page, centering. We covered the header on the second page, which is different from the first page. Always check your page numbers. We made sure the manuscript title was correct. We made sure that in our text the first line of every paragraph is indented. And then we made sure that our references page was created properly, as well as formatting our references properly. Another additional thing to watch out for in this case, Word kept trying to capitalize the D in DOI. So make sure you double check that, and if it does capitalize it, just go back and manually change it. Don't forget to save your document, and if you have any questions on formatting, please feel free to contact Diane West, or if you have issues with Microsoft Word, please feel free to contact me, Charles Aiken. Thank you again for your time. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us and let us know. And again, thank you for your time, and hope you have a great semester.